All right, what's up? Today we'll be discussing exactly how to structure your runs and your lifts as a runner who lifts. I'm going to be showing you the difference between a runner who lifts and a lifter who runs, and which one will be more optimal for your goals as a skinny runner who wants to build lean muscle without killing your speed. On top of that, I'll be providing a 2 to 4 day training splits on top of 6 days of running, including my own schedule that you can copy. So let's get right into it. First off, who is a runner who lifts? That's someone who prioritizes their running over their lifting. So if they feel particularly sore, the first thing that's going to go is a lifting session, not a running session, because the goal of the runner who lifts is to prioritize their running, to get faster with their running. The lifting that they do supports their running and focuses on the functional movement patterns: the squat, hinge, lunge, push, pull, carry, and the core. And here's a bunch of examples right here. If you hit these movement patterns twice a week, you're going to have a balanced, strong, athletic body that's going to look good as a byproduct and work with your running, which is the important part here. It's not going to be bulk that slows you down. It's going to be muscle that has builds more power in your legs and upper body like posture that's going to help with your running posture as well. And outside of running, just be more athletic and stronger throughout daily movements, which is always a good thing. We don't want to be weak and feeble by the time we're 50. We want to be able to run for the rest of our lives, and by building a strong body, we can ensure that we do so. Now, we're not going to be training like power lifters and focusing on one exercise like a deadlift, bench press, squat, and just repeating those over and over and over again. No, we're not here to master exercises. We're here to master the movement. So every cycle or two, we'll switch out the exercises. So maybe on cycle one, we'll do a barbell deadlift. Maybe cycle two, we'll do an RDL. Or we can mix them together. Like on Monday, we'll do an RDL, and Friday we'll do a barbell deadlift. And if we really like the exercise, if we don't want to give it up, then we'll switch out one of the two for something else, like a single-legged deadlift, or just any of the exercises under the hinge category. Like we're here to master the movement of the hinge, master the movement of the lunge, not the actual exercises themselves. And the final point is that this is not some traditional runner strength work where they just do like body weight squats and maybe the occasional plank and push up here and there. No, this is going to be incorporating proper progressive overload, putting in the work, and actually building a strong body that looks good as a byproduct. Now, on to the second person, the lifter who runs. This is pretty much the exact opposite. They're the person who trains like a bodybuilder. They prioritize strength and muscle gains above, but ironically, they're probably going to see less gains than they would if they were just to train as a runner who lifts. So they'll be doing 5 to 7 days a week in the gym, going for the high volume approach. Instead of doing like a full body or upper lower split like you would do as a runner who lifts, you're doing body part splits like the bro split or push pull legs, and you're spending hours, 2 to 3 hours at the very least in the gym. Now, this comes from experience. I'm not just hating for no reason. Like I started out this way. I was training 5 to 7 days per week. I mean, mostly around 6 days doing the push pull legs, but sometimes I would do seven just to say I did seven because I thought it was cool and I had this ego. But at the end of the day, I was making no results. My first 8 months of lifting, I made zero results in the gym, no muscle progress or anything. My running, my races, my workouts, they all tanked. So if you decide to heed my advice and just say, screw Michael, he doesn't know what he's talking about, yada, yada, I'll do this on my own, I want to train like a bodybuilder. More likely than not, you're just be dragging yourself through your runs because your legs just feel constantly sore through pounding on the track, on the pavement, on top of those 20 set leg days. You'll be watching your race times just get slower because you're just too fatigued to actually maximize your training and your workouts. So come your threshold interval training days and you're feeling flat, sore, you just don't have that intention or honestly the motivation to move fast because your legs just feel so sore. Mentally, you're burnt down. Physically, you're burned out. And like I said earlier, you'll be making fewer strength gains than you would have with more focused quality sessions. So if you're just to do 2 to 4 lifts a week, you'll be making a lot more gains, not just in your lifting, but your running as well. And like I said again, you'll be feeling just exhausted all the time and maybe even resenting both. My relationship with running was horrible at the time because I was just so burnt out, and I blame my running for my lifting not getting any gains from that, which all it was just me overtraining and lifting and killing my recovery in both. And then just to add more salt to the wound, I included this last point about falling into the hybrid athlete trap. If you don't know what a hybrid athlete is, it's those guys who run and lift, mostly bodybuilders who are on steroids, who get into running and claim to be natural. They just get into the stuck of being decent at both lifting and running. They're not really good at either one. They're just pretty average at both. Now, here's the truth. You can build an athletic, powerful physique with just 2 to 4 quality lifting sessions per week. More isn't better. Quality is going to be better. Having more focused, maximum intensity sessions will be better. So this allows you to hit each workout with full intensity and proper form, and you're not dying on your lifting days. You're not dying on like your running days as well. In short, you're gonna be able to show up as your best self. Being able to run a hard workout, hit a hard lift, and still be able to recover adequately between both the sessions. You're gonna be able to maintain your running performance and actually improve it over time as your body gets stronger. Initially you might feel sore than usual. That's gonna be completely normal. I mean, think about when you first got into running, your body was sore. Same thing with just getting into lifting. You'll feel sore for the first couple of weeks, but as your body gets adjusted to the movements, you'll feel just fine and actually stronger. And as long as you're dialed in into your running, like your plan actually allows for progressive overload, like you're doing like 4x800s one week, 5x800 the next week, or maybe go faster, et cetera, et cetera. Like you're actually improving your workouts, then your speed's going to improve. And at the end of the day, you're going to feel less burned out and enjoy both disciplines and have an overall strong and fast body. I mean, who doesn't want that? The goal is not to look like a bodybuilder. You're going to hear all these guys online who are saying like, oh, the only way to build muscle that's attractive is if you look like a bodybuilder, if you go to the gym for push-pull legs. Like, no, that's all BS. That's just guys who are stroking their own ego, who think they're a hot shit. They're fat, ugly bodybuilders who can't even like go for a run. That's their propaganda. No, your goal is to build functional strength that makes you a more resilient runner while developing a lean, athletic physique in the process. So now we're on to the splits. All the following splits will share the same runs. It's just the lifts that will be different. So in this one, we have the push-pull leg split, the one that every bodybuilder claims is the best one, but really, I think it's overhyped. You got your push day, pull day, legs, rest, push, pull, legs. This split is going to be flawed for you as a runner because high frequency splits are going to interfere with the running recovery. You're in a constant state of soreness. It's going to be harder to be flexible because if you miss a day, you got to make that. You can't really make that up unless you like switch it out with like a rest day, and then you script the whole split. You're also a runner who's running a bunch of miles, and if you put 6 days of lifting on top of that, that is a ton of volume. People who do 6 day per week splits, they're not running the mileage that you're doing. More likely than not, they do 30 minutes of cardio max, and that's just being nice. So if you don't want to kill your running, don't do the split. So unless you're sticking needles in your butt and you can actually recover from this kind of session, don't do this. So here's 3 smarter splits that you can do that will actually help you with your goals of building muscle without killing your speed, depending on how many days you can commit to lifting. So if you can commit only 2 days to lifting, if your running schedule look like this, I would recommend putting it on Monday and Thursday. With the Monday full body, you can do the lift right after the easy run and you won't really have that much interference. Unless you're doing some like crazy long 90-minute easy run, you can do a lift right after that, honestly. You don't have to worry about like spreading out too far. That's only going to be the case when you have your workouts, which I outlined on Thursdays. So on Thursday, we have a hard run of a threshold. So I would put that in the AM, like the morning time. And then after 4 to 6 hours, at the very least, later, we would do a full body split in the PM. Now, what if we have a race day? At race day, it's going to be different. Now, same thing with a full body. We'll do that on the Monday, but then Thursday will be optional. So if you're not feeling it, if you know that your body would crumble down for race day, don't do it. Or at the very least, keep it light. Now, here's my 3-day full body lifting plan. And this is actually my exact schedule that I do when I'm like racing for the 5K. So here we have the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday full body lift. What I love about this is that it's on the easy run days. So I don't have to worry about splitting them up because I hate having to split up my runs and my lifts too far away because I got to run and I got to shower, then lift and shower again. It's just too much. It's too time consuming. Not everyone has that kind of time. So I like to have my lifting days and my easy run days. So for race day, same ordeal where the Friday lift will be optional. And if I do a lift on that day, it's like light, more explosive type work. And finally, for the 4-day upper lower split, and I actually have a client on this training split right now, and he's got a time trial coming up this Saturday for the half marathon with the goal of going under 6 minutes per mile, which is insane. So shout out Andreas, comment down below, cheering him on. He's going to do great. He's been on the program for the past 8 weeks and has gained 2 pounds of muscle already. Andreas just wanted a low and slow approach to building muscle. So for the past 8 weeks, he just put on 2 pounds of muscle, but he says he feels stronger. He sees more visible muscle in his legs, especially, and he just feels more confident in his body and honestly just more confident in his race time too on Saturday. And the way I structure the upper lower split is kind of the opposite. It's a lower upper where Monday and Tuesday I do lower upper. Wednesday recovery, Thursday, Friday lower upper. The reason why I do that is because I don't want to do a lower body lift right before your long run or like right before your race. So that's why I separate them that way. So you get plenty of recovery between your long run and like your harder sessions and your lower body stuff. So again, for the easy run and like the lower body stuff, you don't have to separate them too much if you don't want to. If you want to go straight from the easy run to lower body, go ahead. But for the workouts, I recommend separating them by like 4 to 6 hours at the very least. If you're really pressed for time on the upper body day, you probably can do the intervals and then go into the upper body lifts. You won't see as much strength gains if you separated them, but it's better than nothing. Thursday, that's where I would watch out for. I would definitely separate these because you got a lower body and your threshold. You want to make sure that these are separated so you have plenty of time for recovery. Again, easy run, upper body, same thing as Monday. Now for race day, this one's interesting. I'm changing it up a bit. We're going to do a lower and an upper body. So Monday and Tuesday. Monday is lower, Tuesday will be upper. And then Thursday will be a full body session. So that way you kind of combine both the lower and the upper body. So again, Andreas, he's currently on this right now for this week, and he's got this race on Saturday. So he's super pumped for that. So let's cheer on for Andreas. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's nothing too complicated like most people get out to be. If you're a skinny runner who wants to build muscle without losing speed, but you need more personalized help with your training, then click the first link down below in the description to book a call with me. We'll discuss your current situation, what your training looks like, what your goals are, and whether or not we'll be a good fit for each other. So book a call, click the link down below.